5 seconds to go. Start. Hare Krishna. Joining us today on this auspicious occasion are the country's Culture Minister Shri G. Kishan Reddy, the President of ISKCON Bureau Shri Gopal Krishna Goswami Ji, and all the fellow Krishna devotees from different countries of the world. Day before yesterday, it was Shri Krishna Janmashtami, and today we are celebrating the 125th birth anniversary of Srila Prabhupada. It is as if both the happiness and contentment of accomplishment are merged together. This spirit is being experienced by millions of followers of Srila Prabhupada Swami and Krishna devotees all over the world. I can see all the saints from different countries on the screen. It is as if millions of minds are bound by one emotion and millions of bodies are connected by one common consciousness. This is the Krishna consciousness which has been spread by Prabhupada Swamiji to the entire world. Friends, we all know that Prabhupada Swami was not only a supernatural devotee of Krishna, but he was also a great devotee of Bharat. He fought in the freedom struggle of the country. He even refused to take his diploma from the Scottish College in support of the non-cooperation movement. Today, it is a happy coincidence that the country is celebrating the 125th birthday of such a great patriot at a time when India is celebrating 75 years of its independence, the Amrit Mahotsav. Srila Prabhupada Swami always used to say that he is traveling in the countries because he wants to give India's most priceless treasure to the world, the spirit of the knowledge and science of India, the life, culture and traditions that we have that is for the welfare of the living entity only, that is, it is not mine, is also the last mantra of our rituals. This is for the entire universe, for the benefit of the entire creation, and that is why Swamiji's revered Guruji, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Ji, saw that potential in him and instructed him to take the thought and philosophy of India to the world. Srila Prabhupada Ji made this command of his Guru his mission, and the result of his efforts is visible in every corner of the world today. In the Amrit Mahotsav also, India's resolutions are based on the mantra of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas and Sabka Viswas in its onward journey. The spirit of global well-being is at the heart of these resolutions, at the core of our goals, and all of you are a witness to how necessary everyone's effort is for the fulfillment of these resolutions. If Prabhupada Ji alone has given so much to the world, then can you imagine the outcome if we all make concerted efforts with his blessings? We will definitely reach that peak of human consciousness from where we can play a bigger role in the world and spread the message of love to the masses. Friends, a great example of how much India can offer to the world in the interest of humanity is our knowledge and tradition of yoga, spread all over the world. It is our resolve that the entire world should benefit from the sustainable lifestyle of India and the sciences like Ayurveda. India has made the mantra of self reliance, which Srila Prabhupada often used to talk about, and the country is moving forward in that direction. Many times, when I talk about the goals of Atmanirbhar Bharat and Make in India, I cite the examples of the success of ISKCON's Hare Krishna movement to my officers and businessmen. When we visit any country and when people greet us with Hare Krishna, we feel so much warmth and pride. Imagine how we would feel when we get this same affinity for Make in India products. We can also achieve these goals by learning from ISKCON. Friends, Lord Krishna had said to Arjuna, that is, there is nothing as holy as knowledge. After highlighting the supremacy of knowledge, he had said one more thing, that is, having attained the science of knowledge, devote your mind and intellect to Krishna. This faith and this force is also a yoga which is called Bhakti Yoga in the 12th chapter of the Gita, and the power of this Bhakti Yoga is enormous. The history of India is also a witness to this. When India was trapped in the deep abyss of slavery and was unable to concentrate on its knowledge and power due to injustice, oppression, and exploitation, it was Bhakti that kept India's consciousness alive and its identity intact. Today, scholars evaluate that if there was no social revolution of the Bhakti period, it is difficult to imagine where India would have been and in what form. But in those difficult times, saints like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who held together our society with the spirit of devotion, gave the mantra of faith to self confidence. Bhakti ended discrimination of faith, social high and low, rights and wrongs, and made a direct relation between Shiva and life. Friends, if you study the history of India, you will also find that sages and seers kept on appearing before the society in different periods, kept incarnating to hold on to this thread of devotion. If a sage like Swami Vivekananda propagated Vedas and Vedanta to the West, then Srila Prabhupada and ISKCON took up this great responsibility of propounding Bhakti Yoga to the world. He worked to connect Bhakti Vedanta with the consciousness of the world. This was no ordinary task. He started a global mission like ISKCON at the age of about 70 when people become inactive. This is a huge inspiration for our society and for every person. Many times we see people saying that age has advanced, otherwise they would have done a lot, or it is not the right age to do all these things. But Prabhupada Swami remained active for his resolutions from his childhood till his whole life. When Prabhupada ji went to America by sea, he was almost empty pocket. He had only Gita and Srimad Bhagavat. During the journey, he suffered heart attacks twice. When he reached New York, he did not have any arrangements for food and no place to stay. But what the world saw in the next 11 years, in the words of Revered Atalji, it was nothing less than a miracle. Stop.